this is it. This is actually it.
We'll press record on the.
We'll start recording on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and Player FM. Let's get this going. And welcome to another edition of Powerplay 904. I am your host, the one and only Vinny Milani, alongside this fresh face.
Hey.
This fresh face, Anthony Milani.
Finally getting it on the YouTube.
We are live for the first time together as a unit in the studio with the Preds Jets game going on. What's going on? What's going on, Anthony? How are you?
Not much. I'm doing great. Like I said, watching the Winnipeg Nashville game right now. Having a good time here in the studio. How are you?
I mean, I was waiting for you to tell me the temperature of the studio. That's
well,
like
everybody knows the temperature of the studio is a cool 69 degrees.
Nice.
Always.
Nice. So we've got a lot to talk. Well, we're entering round two. This is a great time.
We've already entered round two.
We have already entered round two.
Yep.
Round two started last night with the Pens Caps and the massacre that took place in Las Vegas. I feel like we should start off with that to start the show. Really, that massacre last night between the Vegas Golden Knights put on the San Jose Sharks.
Yeah.
It was just
the Knights have been unreal.
Yeah.
I was a little concerned. I even said this before the game. I was like, they only scored 7 goals in the first round. I was like, are they going to be able to score?
Yeah.
And they answered that.
Yeah, they definitely answered
7 goals.
Yes, 7 goals on the San Jose Sharks, who played well defensively and against the Anaheim Ducks. They didn't allow that many goals against the Anaheim Ducks either.
No, they were very good against the Ducks defensively. They were solid, and they got great goaltending from Martin Jones. And I don't think Martin Jones was the issue last night. The Knights were swarming all over the ice. They controlled the play in all 3 zones. Their power play was clicking. Fleury made 33 saves and looked great again. Overall, great game played. Full 60 minutes for the Knights.
You know, it's hard because it's hard to. I don't want to be that guy that jumps on Vegas's bandwagon or anything like that. It's like, but we were the people. Both of us were saying the Golden Knights would struggle in the first round. And
I was a big time hater on the Knights.
Both of us said that they'd get bounced in the first round. So it's still weird to say that Vegas is so good. Like, for us, it's weird. At least for me, it's weird.
Yeah.
But I mean, do you have? I mean, we'll just kind of jump into this little quick prediction here. Do you have Vegas over San Jose in the 7-game series?
Yes.
Yes.
And I didn't have that originally. I didn't have either teams advancing originally.
Oof, tough blow on the bracket, eh?
Yeah. So I looked like an idiot there. But I definitely have the Knights going over the Sharks in the series.
How did your
maybe in 5?
How did your bracket end up after the first round?
The first round, the Caps made it out, and the Penguins made it out.
That was it?
The Bruins made it out.
Did you have Tampa?
Oh yeah, I guess all of my East teams came out.
So
and then my West didn't work out except for. Well, I guess I was 2 for 4 in the West.
So you only got 2. So you only got 2 wrong.
Only got 2 wrong. Yeah, I guess I did. I was kind of down on myself.
So we're both in the same boat. I had 1 wrong in the West and I had 1 wrong in the East. My bracket ended up being I had the Jackets beating the Caps, and I had I had the Kings beating the Knights, which. Both those ended up being wrong. I was way wrong on that. But we kind of can go into that other series that I just brought up, the Caps and Jackets series. That ended in a fun game up until a certain point. The Caps ended up running away with it in the third period after some, in my opinion, questionable goals. For one, Sergei Bobrovsky. And we've heard a lot of chatter going around that everyone's trying to blame Bob. Now, Anthony, he wants to argue with me with this because I'll get my point across here.
Mm-hmm.
Bob's got to make these saves. A goalie of his caliber in the playoffs needs to be able to make the saves even when it's like a breakaway or a 2-on-1. Sometimes your goalie has to stand on his head and make some big saves. I mean, as Ranger fans, you see Henrik Lundqvist do that all the time.
Yeah.
So Bob has to do that. Bob has to make big saves when it matters.
He did make huge saves. He kept that team in the first 2 games, which got the games to overtime for them to win. he was the only reason they were relevant in the series at all. So to even mention Bob as a reason
I,
for anything
I think
negative in that series is just preposterous.
I think I have to disagree with you though on that too because I don't
The
think
Caps controlled the play in all 6 games of that series. He was the only reason that they even came close to anything.
Okay, maybe I will have to take back my.
Either way, I still think Bob's got to make
these saves, especially in that game.
He had
game
one
6.
goal in the entire series where he missed the poke check, and you're gonna hang him for that?
Yes,
That's
I am gonna hang him for
You're
it.
an idiot.
That's a big moment in that game. That's a game-changing situation. That's shorthanded.
You cannot blame a series, let alone a game, on one play. That was a breakaway.
I'm not saying I'm going to blame the whole entire series or that entire game on that play. I'm just saying that's a big play that he's got to make a big save on. And in the past, the Blue Jackets have not been able to make it out of the first round. And I mean, someone's got to get the blame.
Yeah, it's not Bob.
So who would get the blame in your opinion?
I would say coaching takes the blame.
So
also, they were a victim of playing a better, deeper team. The first 2 games were a result of CBJ working hard and getting good goaltending. But when you're playing a deep team like the Washington Capitals, and you're not a deep team, except the longer the games go, the longer the series goes, it's going to favor the deep team, which is the Washington Capitals, and that's what happened.
I mean, I really was thinking that the Jackets could do it just because of the way their offense was clicking during the regular season and the way Bob was playing. But I mean,
I think we all wanted them to win. It was a great story, but the fact of the matter is, Washington was a better team, and they won.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to argue that fact because Washington is moving on to round 2 to play the Pittsburgh Penguins, who defeated the Philadelphia Flyers in 6. And I believe friend of the show Travis Jake is happy about that.
Yeah,
but
sure.
That was another game that was back and forth, and then Pittsburgh just ran away with it. That was some questionable calls in that game as well, in my opinion.
But the better team won.
But
another
better team won. I feel like all the games in round 1, the better team won, and I think it. I mean, this is talk around the hockey world. Is this round 2 is going to be a round to remember because of all the key,
the big matchups that we have going on. So just a real quick, so we've got in the West, it's Winnipeg and Smashville in round 2, and it's Vegas and San Jose as the other game, and Pittsburgh and Washington, and then Boston and Tampa are in the East.
So we've got some great matchups. Which matchup are you most excited to watch?
I'm most excited to watch, I'd have to say, the Winnipeg-Nashville series, because both teams are awesome. I think both teams are worthy of going to the Stanley Cup. Unfortunately, one of them is going to have to leave early in the second round, but I think that's going to be one of the better series.
Yeah, no,
for sure.
I definitely agree. That's going to be a very exciting series. I'm obviously very excited for that series, but I'll just say this to be different. The Tampa Bay Lightning Boston Bruins series is going to be so much fun to watch.
I think that's going to be a great series as well.
It is going to be a lot of fun to watch. You got 2 great goalies in Andrei Vasilevsky and Tuukka Rask going head to head, and then you got the offensive firepower of the Tampa Bay Lightning against that rough and tough style of the Boston Bruins.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you have in the goalie matchup? Who would you give the nod to, Tuukka or Vazzy?
Got to give the goalie nod to Vazzy.
Really?
Yeah, Vasilevsky's been much more consistent. Tuukka had a great start to the first round series. Finished pretty bad. The last game against the Leafs, he almost cost him the game.
Yeah.
We had a couple of real soft ones, not saying square to the shooter. It's almost like the pressure just gets to him.
That's true.
He gets a hard time from a lot of Boston fans, and I don't like that because I do think he's a good goalie. I think they're a little too hard on him, but especially here when he's going up against Vasilevsky, who I think should be the Vezina this year. Got to give it to Vazzy.
Yeah. I mean,
I want to go with, I would say Tuukka, in my opinion, just because of the fact that he's got that experience. he's been there before. He's been in the Cup Finals before. He's got that experience. I mean, Vazzy has been in there as well.
Well,
Vazzy hasn't been.
he hasn't been there, but Bishop
No,
was
Bishop
there
was the
for
goalie
Lightning.
when they lost the.
So
the
I would think that Tuca has that experience
Yeah.
over them, and
That's
honestly,
fair.
I don't even like saying that anymore. The whole experience thing, because Vegas is just still out there with no team experience in the
Vegas
playoffs,
is
and they're
out
just
there.
a whole different
Yeah,
beast.
a bunch of guys with chips on their shoulder, proving every GM let them go wrong and making them look stupid.
Yes, it exactly that. It is exactly that. I mean, so we'll just stick with that Eastern that matchup of Tampa Bay, Boston. Who you got? Who do you think comes out and advances to the Eastern Conference Finals?
I think Vazzy's the better goalie, but I think this series will still go to Boston.
Okay.
They match up well against the Lightning. I think the rough style that the Boston Bruins bring will wear down the Lightning in a 7-game series. I think as long as the Bruins can take one of the first 2 games in Tampa, they'll be in good shape.
Yeah, I would also have to agree with you on that. I think Boston comes out of that one. I think
It's this first round has been so difficult for me to wrap my head around, just because of the fact that, like, I was thinking
New Jersey gave Tampa a hard time, and then Toronto gave Boston a hard time. So I can't really say one had a hard time and that's why the other is going to win. I can't use that as a reasoning.
It's really all about how teams match up to each other.
And exactly, and I think Boston matches up a lot better. I will tell you this though, Boston needs to get some production from guys like Charlie McAvoy. I think Charlie McAvoy has been a key guy through the regular season for Boston, and I think he needs to show up on a more consistent basis. He's been kind of relevant. I don't want to say irrelevant completely, but he's been kind of.
He's just coming back from injury. A few games before the playoffs.
I do understand that I had him on my fantasy team.
Right.
But score. Oh no. Yep, score. Winnipeg.
It looks like Winnipeg will take it.
Yeah, 4. Oh, that was empty. Yeah. Yep, Winnipeg.
4-1 with 35 seconds left.
Winnipeg takes game 1 against the Nashville
sealed.
Predators.
Wow.
That one's
huge.
Done deal. But
absolutely huge.
But as for Boston and Charlie McAvoy, I think he's gonna have to step up. And Boston's top line is really gonna have to keep pushing out all those goals. I also have Boston in that. Pittsburgh, Washington, they played last night.
Yep.
And that was a game that was some have been calling it a classic just because of the comeback that Pittsburgh had. It was an incredible comeback. They were down 2-0 entering the third period, and they scored and took the lead within, I believe, 5 minutes of the third period. They took that lead. It was incredible.
Yeah. Anytime when you have Sidney Crosby on the ice, you're never out of any game, and they proved that last night. I was really thinking that the Caps were going to take it. They pushed the pace most of the game, spent a lot of time in Pittsburgh's into the ice. When it came down to it, Holby letting in a couple stingers in the third, some pucks he should have had. One that just went right, I believe, under his block. It was a tip, but if he just closes up there, he makes the save. Another one right through the wickets. It is Sidney Crosby shooting the puck, but just, go down the butterfly, keep your stick down. He looks like me out there with that. Not good. And that's not good. It's not
That's
not a compliment.
Hey, you're a BHL veteran though. You got a few BHL.
Several rec league MVPs.
Several rec league MVPs for this guy and some BHL championships.
Yeah.
Something I don't have.
Yeah, no big deal, but I do.
Not a big deal.
I said no big deal. We're gonna get sued. We're gonna get sued.
One of these days, we are definitely gonna get sued.
Yeah, I will say also one more thing about that: the Capitals blew a huge opportunity last night. They're playing the Penguins without Evgeny Malkin, which is huge, and they also are missing Carl Hagelin.
Dude, he got
wrecked by Giroux. He got wrecked by Giroux. Monster hit.
We were watching that game, and as soon as that happened, I don't like seeing anyone hurt, but I kind of got excited because
Giroux lit him up.
Giroux just crushed him. It was one of those plays that was just.
It was a great hit.
It was great
for sure.
It was a solid, good hockey hit. But yeah, that took Carl Hagelin out. out for this game, for game one against the Caps. Malkin was also out, and I mean it's gonna be tough when those guys come back, and Washington's got to deal with that.
Yeah, they blew a golden opportunity there, and also, you know, part of it is they blew it, and part of it was the stellar play of Matt Murray.
He was
I
good.
don't think I always say that I don't think he's that great of a goalie. And last night he proved me wrong. He was excellent. He made 2 or 3 saves in the third period that were definite game changers. They should be goals. He shouldn't have had a chance to make the save. He somehow made them.
Yeah.
Getting the blocker across, I think, on 2 separate occasions in the third period.
Yeah.
Just great play by that guy. Huge reason that they won. And it's going to be a real tough blow for the Capitals not capitalizing on those chances.
Capitals not capitalizing.
Capitals not capitalizing. What else is new?
Headline of that game one, Capitals not capitalizing.
Yes.
So after that game one and seeing the way that game kind of happened, do you think you should be retracting your statement that this is the Caps year?
Nope.
Okay, so
I'm sticking to my guns. It's the Caps year. They're down right now, but they will find a way.
You know, it's hard to argue that.
As long as they can if they can get the next one in Pitt, they'll be in good shape going back to Washington. They'll be all right. I think this one goes 7. I honestly think this one goes 7.
Yeah, it's going to definitely be a great series. Holtby, I think having Holtby not play in the first game of that Columbus series, I think that kind of lit a spark under him.
He was definitely chomping at the bit to get back in there.
He's playing like a man possessed, and I think he played well
up until the third period.
Up until the third period,
he wasn't tested super often.
Exactly,
I will say that. I don't think I wouldn't say Holtby's the reason they lost, because you can't blame a loss on one player. But like you said earlier,
yeah,
big moments of goaltender of that caliber needs to be there. He needs to show up and make those saves.
Exactly. Goalies like that. I mean, they have to come up clutch. Can I just pause this entire thing right now for your socks? I just want I want the fans to see this.
Should I model them?
The fans please model the leg first. But he's got dog socks. They're puppy socks. Yep. They look like the dog from Lady in the Tramp.
No, they're miniature schnauzer socks.
So let this be known.
Yeah.
Now that this is our first episode for us on the YouTube channel, and this dude's wearing his miniature schnauzer socks.
Gotta be comfy.
The only thing missing is his Wi-Fi shirt, which I promise you will be on this.
I'll get the Wi-Fi shirt next show.
But
next show I'll get the Wi-Fi shirt for sure.
He had to show off the guns because he just came from the gym.
Yeah, you know.
What a guy. What a guy. Somebody called the vet. These puppies are sick.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. Okay, so that does it for the Eastern Conference, though, because we both have Boston, and you have Washington. I have Pittsburgh coming out of that series. So we will see how that ends up.
Yeah.
But in the West now, we just saw Winnipeg take a 1-0 series lead over the Nashville Predators. Nashville outshot them 40.
Last I checked, it was
48-19 the final. The final in shots, Nashville outshot them 48-19. But Winnipeg pulls it out, wins 4-1 with an empty net goal. I mean, if you're Winnipeg, I'm getting nervous. I'm kind of nervous. I'm not too happy about that win. I mean, good teams find ways to win, but I will not say if I'm Winnipeg, I'm okay with winning a game and being outshot 48-19.
Yeah. No, they definitely capitalized on the chances. Pekka letting a few goals that he normally wouldn't, so I wouldn't count on that to continue. What Winnipeg does have going for them is they did pull this out, and now they have the benefit of being able to watch film, see where they went wrong tonight, fix those mistakes, and come back to Nashville already up 1-0. So if they can correct those mistakes, play a lot tighter defense, they'll be all right. Also, with Hellebuck back there, they can afford to be a little sloppy on defense.
Yeah.
If they're scoring 3-4 goals a night, he's not going to let in more than 2 goals a night.
Yeah.
His shutout streak was broken at 163 minutes tonight. So
unbelievable.
Yeah.
And he only allowed 1. So it's not like this.
Yeah,
and it was a great play too.
Yeah, it was. He had no chance.
Exactly.
Kyle Turris with the 1-touch.
Oh man, that was
goal
so
line.
nasty.
Unreal.
So nasty.
Absolutely unreal.
And if you're Nashville though, you have to start getting. I mean, yeah, you had 48 shots, in that game, but you have to get bodies in front of him. You need to put more pressure on Hellebuck. I mean, you can get shots from anywhere on the ice. You can get them from bad angle shots. We'll have to look at the shot chart and see where it came from.
No, those shots, I watched a good part of that game. Those shots were coming from good areas. He made some good saves.
Nothing to take away from Hellebuck at all, but to beat a goalie like that, this is coming from a player's standpoint, you have to pepper him with you got to get him with traffic in front of the net. You have to block his vision. You can't let him see. I feel like I'm Pierre McGuire right now, saying the obvious shit.
I mean, I wish you take your own advice sometimes.
I mean, I'm BHL pro, okay? Or BHL rookie, I should say.
No, because your usual move to the net is skate around the D-man, take it wide, right into the goalie's belly, face off.
Do not call me Rick Nash, okay?
Yeah. Rick Nash is a power move. It looks nice. You wouldn't do the power move.
No, man,
you just shoot from the dot.
Wow, unbelievable. I try and give confidence boosters to the goalies, okay? But
yeah, they don't need you, bud.
Yeah, thanks, bud. Right. So either way, Winnipeg takes game one, gets outshot big though, so that's going to be something that Winnipeg's going to want to lessen and correct.
They're going to correct.
Who do you have at the end of the series?
I still have Nashville coming out.
Still have Nashville, okay.
Still have Nashville coming out. I think they find it. I think they're just the better team. And like I said before, they're the deeper team. The only thing that Winnipeg could use to possibly get past Nashville is Connor Hellebuck.
Yeah.
I think he would be the difference they do, but I'm going with Nashville still to win this. Maybe in 7, maybe take 7 games, but I think the depth of Nashville in the long series will come in handy.
Yeah, I also have
and the back end of Winnipeg is pretty hurt.
Yeah.
They got some guys out, so if Nashville can continue to take advantage out of the shots, the goals will eventually come. They have to.
I feel like I'm going to end up being wrong about this, but I have Nashville in my bracket, but I guess being on the West Coast, being a Western Conference team, the Winnipeg Jets, I didn't see enough of Connor Hellebuck during the regular season, but these games that I've been able to watch of him in the playoffs, he's been incredible, and it's really hard for me to pick Nashville over Winnipeg. I mean, I'm going to, because that's why I have my bracket. That's why I have winning the Stanley Cup in my bracket. So I can't really.
A lot of people.
I really don't want to pick against them.
That's who a lot of people have winning the Stanley Cup.
So yeah, so I don't want to go against that, but I really wouldn't be surprised if Winnipeg advances in this series.
It definitely wouldn't be a surprise to anyone, I don't think.
Because Hellebuck, I mean, that's one thing that, I mean, the Pens were able to ride Fleury and Murray into the playoffs, and Nashville last year was able to ride Rene, and this seems like it's a situation where Winnipeg can ride Hellebuck into the Cup Finals if it ends up happening.
So, I mean, if it ends up happening, Hellebuck would definitely be in Conn Smythe talk if that were to happen.
Yeah. So I mean, that's that for that series. Now we move on to, we touched up on it before, the Vegas Golden Knights and the San Jose Sharks, and I guess
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
One thing we didn't touch up on was Alex Tuch. He was awesome last night. He set up a goal, and then he scored a beautiful breakaway of his own. Yep. I tweeted out last night, as impressive as
You're the trendsetter here. You're the trendsetter, by the way.
Yeah. After I posted, a lot of other accounts had it going, but as impressive as he was last night, it's not close, and you can check out our Twitter page for this.
At Powerplay_904 on Twitter.
That's the
one.
And
I mean, if you want, you can check out our Facebook page at Powerplay904 on Facebook.
Could do that.
I mean, you can do both. You can like, follow, share. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
All of that's available to you. So,
T+.
What you would see there is my post about Alex Tuch and how impressive he was last night. And even though he was impressive, he was not as impressive as that sick shootout and Selly from training camp in 2015 with the Wild.
Nasty.
Takes the goalie for a ride wide left, and then basically does like this power strut.
It was like a moonwalk of sorts.
It was but he was going forward.
Yeah.
So it was, I would say like a power strut.
High knees and everything.
Oh yeah, right over the opposing bench.
It's nasty.
Best Selly of all time.
Best Selly of all time.
All time.
Okay, you put it up head to head against Artem Anissimov's sniper against Tampa Bay Lightning back in like 2000 something.
Yeah, I like it better.
You like Tuch Selly better?
Yeah, the only celebration in NHL history, in my opinion, that can come close to it is Sean Avery's push-ups.
Ooh, true. I
mean, Sean Avery doing the push-ups.
There are so many celebrations though that you can consider. I mean, honestly though, you can probably check us out during our summer show. We'll have the answer to who we actually think has the best Ellie of all time.
I just told you to watch.
No, we'll have everyone's opinion, the fans' opinion, our opinion, my opinion, your opinion,
I just gave you my
TC's opinion, everyone's opinion. Everyone's gonna have an opinion on this, and we're gonna come down. We're gonna draw. We're gonna figure it out. But so Vegas. I mean, I'm gonna take the words from your mouth here.
Yeah,
Vegas is the real deal.
Yeah, no, go ahead. I'd love to. What do you think about Vegas right now?
Vegas is the real deal with James Neal.
So you think they breeze by the Sharks? How many games?
I don't even know.
Do you think they can beat them in 5?
Vegas has thrown a wrench.
After what you saw,
Vegas threw a wrench in my parade.
Oh god.
Vegas threw a wrench in my parade.
What a dummy.
Vegas has just. I don't understand. Like,
I can't. It's so hard because I didn't
have Vegas even at this point.
No,
I didn't have Vegas at this point, nor did I have them sweeping LA.
Neither did I, but watching them now.
Nor did I have them beating San Jose in game 1 7-0.
Watching them now and seeing how dominant they've been in the 4-game sweep against the Kings, and then last night just an outburst for 7. What do you, based on that, you got to think that they're
I mean they're the real they are the real deal. I mean they are a team that is.
There's no outright superstars.
But that's the thing, though. Like you said, there's no. I mean, Herb. This is the Herb Brooks saying at its best right here.
Yeah.
You can't win on talent alone, and you don't have enough talent to win on talent alone. And we're back live. Look at this schmuck right here. We're back live, and we are back rolling on the show. This has been an unbelievable turn of events. We are back live. Vegas Golden Knights not being able to win on talent alone because they don't have enough talent to win on talent alone, but they have enough team talent, and they are winning. They are beating the San Jose Sharks right now in the series 1-0. They are a team, like I said, that Herb Brooks thinks.
They're on fire.
They're a team. They're rolling.
It reminds me of the 2012 LA Kings and how they just caught fire at the right time.
Yeah.
And they were getting unbelievable goaltending from Quickie, just like the Knights are getting unbelievable goaltending from Flower, who had another 33 save shutout last night, third of the playoffs. So, I mean, I've doubted them for so long, and they keep on proving me wrong. I feel I can't doubt them anymore. There's nothing to say about that, because every time I'd be like, oh, they're not going to win. The San Jose Sharks are deeper. They're better. They have better this, better that.
Yeah.
Nice proving me wrong.
I mean, that's the thing. That's what makes it so hard right now, because for a team that I had no intentions or no thought of them advancing at any point past the first round, I didn't think that they could be here. It's so I'm just baffled.
Yeah,
I am baffled. Podcast host baffled with a team that I have nothing.
Well, it doesn't take much to baffle.
That is true. I have a small brain. Brain.
Brain.
But
awesome.
Yep. So shout out to Little Dicky if you're watching this. Check us out. Powerplay.
He's definitely watching. I'm sure he's definitely watching this right now.
Watching us. Yeah. Unbelievable. But no, I mean, this Vegas Golden Knights team, they're a team that's strong. They're playing a well-team game. And
a well-team game.
The well-team game. Most teams have to play that well-team game.
The well-team game. Let's go out there and play a well-team game, boys.
Well-team game, eh? Man, this is our live stream. This is the first ever time we've had a live stream.
Gotta work out the kinks.
So if you're watching this and it's been fun, if you're listening, we have listeners here listening to us on iTunes, though, which is for normal.
That's what we've been doing.
On what? We're on iTunes, SoundCloud,
Player FM,
yep. And Stitcher. Unbelievable. We're on everywhere.
Yeah, if I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know what Player FM and Stitcher are.
I don't honestly know what. I know what Stitcher is.
Okay.
I don't know what Player FM is. But
you kids and your fancy video games.
Your fancy gadgets. No, but the Vegas Golden Knights they're playing a well-team game.
That well-team game.
And I think that they're going to get past San Jose Sharks. Now, the San Jose Sharks are going to be without Evander Kane for one game.
One game, yeah. Stupid cross-check.
Very
in the face of Bellemare from the Knights. That was Bellemare or Bellemare?
Bellemare.
I thought it was Bellemare.
Our Flyers fan who had Bellemare on the team. The first one is Bellemare. So.
I'm going to say Bellemare.
Well, you can sound like an
idiot.
Bellemare.
Captain of the Frenzy. No, but...
Yeah, he cross-checked Bellemare in the face.
in the face after the play. They're already down 5-0. So immature play.
Yeah,
He's definitely going to regret that one.
Yeah, he is, and San Jose is going to really feel the loss of him though, because he is a huge player for them.
He's been great for them since the trade.
Now San Jose may be getting back key piece in Jumbo Joe Thornton, so maybe that I don't think it'll make up for
but
the
even
goals,
if they get him back, are they getting Jumbo back at 100%?
Yeah, I mean,
I guarantee they're not.
At 30-something years old, almost 40 years old.
Almost 40 years old. They're probably getting him at probably 60%.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of an impact he's going to make. I know there was some talk, the same thing with, not to go back too far, but with Matthews in the first round. There was some talk about him playing injured, never coming back from injury quite right, and that's why he didn't look like his normal self in the playoffs.
Did you so Sean Couturier played with the torn MCL?
Torn MCL.
Wayne Simmons
of Radko Gudas.
Wayne Simmons had every injury in the book too, and still played.
He played with a torn pelvis all year.
That's insane.
All year he played with that, and then a litany of other injuries throughout the year, and he only missed I think it said he only missed 6 or 7 games in the regular season, something stupid.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I mean, the toughness of these guys right now, and I mean,
absolute warriors.
It's incredible. We saw Ryan Ellis tonight take a skate to the face and was back out for his next shift.
I don't think he missed a shift.
He did not miss a shift, and I mean, it's incredible. It's a fun time to be a hockey fan watching these games. Yeah. Who do you have? Vegas, San Jose.
We didn't talk about this, but Vegas.
Who do you have? Okay, so Vegas. No, I don't think we didn't actually.
I thought we touched upon that at the beginning.
We didn't. We'll refresh.
Okay, well, I'll refresh. Vegas in 5.
Vegas in 5. Vegas in. Vegas sweep.
Can you go Vegas sweep?
Vegas sweep.
Yeah, you can't.
I will not forget about Anthony Milani's setup of the week.
Yeah, so let's
now fans can watch me do that.
That's
fans
great.
can watch, and if you have a picture on your phone, you can put it up to the screen for the fans to see.
I can do that. I guess. So this week's setup of the week, I go ahead and show everyone watching. Right there, this is Colin Delia of the Rockford Ice Hogs in the Chicago Blackhawks organization. If you recall, earlier this year, he played in a Blackhawks team, got hurt, and beer league legend Scott Foster came in, went 7 for 7.
He should be up for the best of the man.
And went 7 for 7, but I digress. This is about Colin, not Scott. So Colin, U.S.-born tender from California.
Merrimack guy.
Went to Merrimack College. He's only 23 years old. Promising young kid, but his setup is what we're here to talk about. It is sick. It is a sick Brian setup. It's the optic pads, but with the classic
that heritage look.
Heritage, the air pack, whatever you want to call it. It's solid red. He's got the red stick to complement it. Some black accents. Super old school look, with the new school optics. Just a nasty setup.
It is very sick. You know what I noticed about him though, that I don't think I've seen any other goalie in the league have, is that Brian stick. Not many goalies have that Brian stick.
I think he might be. I mean, he didn't play much in the NHL, but I don't think there's any other NHL goaltenders with the Brian.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think I've ever seen.
I think that's just him.
I don't think I've seen another goalie with the Brian stick, so that's interesting.
Yeah, he's all Brian.
Most goalies that are Brians are using either that new Warrior CR1 stick or the Bauer
Darling.
Or the Bauer stick, is I know Ronto uses the Bauer twig.
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
But it's interesting to see that Brian's twig. But definitely a solid set of the week. So you're saying he won the game in triple overtime?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, thanks for reminding me. So last night they swept the Chicago Wolves in the AHL in their first round series, the best of 5 series.
It's got to be a rivalry.
So they won 3 in a row. I'm sure we have to.
Rockford and the Wolves and Chicago Wolves, both Illinois teams.
Yeah. So, triple overtime last night. The game didn't end until I think 2 in the morning.
Unreal.
Absolutely crazy. So they swept Chicago last night. He was in net. Huge game for him, and they're moving on to the second round.
Yeah, congratulations to them, and also congratulations to the ECHL teams that are in the South Division that have advanced in the second round. The Florida Everblades are taking on the Orlando Solar Bears in round 2. Both Florida teams swept their first round matchups, and now will meet
to decide who wins that South Division title.
You got the Everblades.
You have the Everblades. I also have the Everblades because they're really good.
Yeah, they're good.
Although I will say though, one thing that I like a lot about Orlando is Cal Heater has been playing really well.
Cal Heater and the Toronto Marlies organization. There.
Yep, with another sick Brian setup too.
He does have another sick Brian setup.
He's got a great Brian
optic
setup.
custom graphic.
It's
awesome.
I mean, the game has been changed with those custom graphics. It's great to see. On that note, there is, I think, maybe one thing that we have going on in the social media world.
Yeah,
outside the. I can't say outside the league. It's kind of inside the league.
It's about the league, and it was a conversation that I had on Twitter. I'd like to get your thoughts on it. So let me explain this to everyone listening and everyone watching.
I'm as clueless as everyone listening too.
So I got into I wouldn't say an argument, a discussion. There was a respectful discussion on Twitter about
because we don't need you losing us any fans.
Yeah, well, I gotta keep it nice on Twitter. We can't afford to lose any fans. So, someone posted the article that I think I showed you about Bob being the reason they lost, and I was like, if you think Bob's the reason you lost, you're an idiot. That's it.
Yeah.
So.
Did you call him a fan an idiot?
No, I was very respectful. Good. We were both respectful to each other. Good. I think. I feel like it went well.
Good.
So, I had someone tweet back at me that Torts was the problem, and went on a rant about how Torts is a bad coach who teaches his players to take headshots, basically. I disagreed with that. I think Torts is a passionate man. I think he's an honest guy. I don't think he's teaching his players to do anything dirty, that's for sure. I know sometimes he can be a little much.
He's a hothead.
The way his coaching style is, he wears out his welcome eventually.
Yeah.
I think right now he's in that sweet spot with Columbus where the players still respect him and like him. But he definitely, rubs people the wrong way, and over time, his time in organizations runs its course. So this particular fan or listener is a Pittsburgh Penguins fan. So I asked him, I was like, well, what about Crosby? He slashed in the thought, broke his finger off, pretty much.
Yeah.
A few years ago in the playoffs, smacked Giroux, broke his wrist. So I want to know, my thoughts were, that's just as bad as he mentioned a Foligno headshot, but I didn't even see what happened. The Foligno cross-check Crosby in the back of the head a couple of years ago, I guess. So he blamed it on Torts, and I thought that wasn't right.
Yeah.
And two, what are your thoughts on Crosby? And is Crosby slashing the thought worse than Foligno allegedly cross-checking Crosby in the back of the head? Then?
So I mean, both are pretty bad. To be completely honest with you, I think cross-checking Foligno cross-checking Crosby in the back of the head would be what I would think would be more outrageous, just because, I mean, you have control. I mean, a slash is a thing that a lot of players do nowadays. Just some worse than others, but a hack to someone's hands is not as uncommon as a lot of people think. I mean, a lot of people look at that and think, oh, that's got to be a penalty, but really though, a lot of that goes on in the league. And during games, it's just none of it's called because it's not that big of a deal. If you go back and watch a game in the '90s, there were hacks and slashes like every play, there was like
guys going high on other guys every play as well.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the game has changed a lot for the better. But I mean, it's still I don't want to say it's a part of the game, but I mean it happens.
Definitely not a part of the game to hack someone's hand off or to slash them in the. I think the wrist slashing to Giroux is definitely intentional.
Yes, that is a little bit more intentional. But the thing is with the Mathot thing, I mean, I feel like that is just another play where you're just whacking at him and
it was way away from the play. Have you seen that?
I did.
Way away from the play. Totally uncalled for.
But I mean, the Foligno cross-checking Crosby in the back of the head would be one of those plays that you like the Evander Kane thing. You have control of your stick. There's no reason why it's got to get that high.
I don't even know what the video he was referring to. It could have been one of those.
Basically, what needs to be said about this whole entire subject. First of all, no coach in the league in the NHL
is teaching their guys or telling their guys to go out there and commit a dirty penalty because that's only going to put your team in a bad position. And the coach, I'm sure, loves his job and doesn't want to lose that job.
Agreed.
And I mean, like I was saying about the Crosby thing, these things happen. The emotions get the best of players sometimes, and I mean, it has nothing to do with the coach.
Yeah,
like I said, it's the emotions that are getting the best of you.
He did say that he did not blame Foligno for this because it is just part of the game.
Yeah.
So he did say his gripe was more with Torts.
I mean, I can't see any gripe with any. Look at this. This is what happens when we're live and then we lose our signal.
Oh, is that on
We
here?
are back live once again. We are back live once again on our YouTube channel and on our show. I guess can't really consider it live because you can be listening to this whenever you want.
Yep.
We
recorded it live.
We did record it live.
It's like Monday Night Raw. You record it live, but then you watch it whenever you want.
Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, in the 90s they did that. I digress. I digress.
Okay. So, no, to sum up that whole torts, slashing, hitting,
the whole
cheap
torts
shot
debacle
stuff, it's not, you can't blame the coach. That's not a thing. Because no coach in their right mind is telling their players to do these dirty things. Because, I mean, it's only going to harm your team. And then in the end, it's going to... I mean, honestly, if people want to start blaming Torts for this, fine. Let him get fired. The Rangers would be more than happy to come take him. I, as a Ranger fan, would be happy to take him.
No, like I said, I do like Torts, but his time runs out. His method runs its course. And I think it ran the course with the Rangers forever. I think he's suited for Columbus to have the underdog mentality that he has.
The grind. So
I think
Philadelphia Eagles dog style.
Yeah,
I think underdog.
I think he's well suited for Columbus, at least for now. I think he's got a few more years in there. I think the team still respects him, and still he gets the best out of them. Still,
yeah.
They ran into just a better hockey team.
Yeah.
And that's why they lost. I don't think you can point the finger here or there.
Now I will bring this up though. I don't think we've talked about this yet, and I wanted to.
Yes.
Playoff format. We'll touch into this real quick.
We talked about it a little bit.
Playoff format. Are you okay with this one versus?
No, I don't. No, I'd much rather.
A lot of people are complaining about the fact that we are seeing Winnipeg Smashville in the second round, and that should be a conference final.
It's a bummer for one of those teams to have to go home before the conference final.
And Washington has gotten the crap end of that stick too because
they have to
play Pittsburgh every year.
No matter how good their record is, they got to play Pittsburgh.
They got to play Pittsburgh.
And the one year they didn't, they ran into the Rangers. Derek Stepan in overtime, baby.
Nah, I don't want to say nothing. Big deal.
It was
big deal.
Big deal.
Very big deal.
Yeah.
But on that note, we are all wrapped up for today's show. You have Smashville. I have Smashville. I have Vegas. You have Vegas. You have Boston. I have Boston. And you have Washington. I have Pittsburgh. So we'll see how everything turns out. We will see how everything turns out. Round 2 has begun. If you have any questions for us, you can go on our Facebook or our Twitter. We are at Powerplay904 on Facebook, at Powerplay_904 on Twitter. Check us out on our YouTube channel, which, we're still working out the kinks. But hopefully you guys liked it.
That's all right.
Hopefully you guys liked it. We will be on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Player FM. We'll find out what Stitcher and Player FM is one of these days.
Who knows?
I mean, maybe we'll have it figured out next week.
Probably
not. Probably not.
Probably not.
But as for...
It's not our style.
It's
not our style.
But we'll learn. We will learn. We'll figure it out one of these days. Eventually.
Maybe.
For Anthony Milani, I am your host, the one and only Vinny Milani. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook at Powerplay904, on Twitter at Powerplay_904, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Player FM, iTunes, all that good stuff. Leave us comments, leave us a review, let us know what's
Send us questions.
Send us questions.
Or if there's something you hated about the show,
yes, let us know.
So let us know.
Like
also,
if you're listening to the show right now,
we'll be happy to talk about it on the show and call ourselves out for being dummies or tell you why we disagree.
Like the Vegas thing. We kind of messed that up. So
I mean, give us shit about that. Whatever.
Yeah. We like to have fun. You like to have fun. Hockey's here. We like to talk about hockey. For Anthony Milani, I am Vinny Milani. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and have a great night. And our YouTube thing is still live, but we have to shut this off. How do I do this?
I'm paused. I'm done.
I don't know how to do this. Oh.
boy, this is. Oh my God, how do I turn this off? I feel like
We're
are like
stuck. We're stuck live forever.
Share.
This is our new
Nope,
home
this
now.
is not it.
This is my life now.
I'll use cookie X. Nope, that's not. That was cookie X. Cookie X. Are you sure you want to stop streaming?